Help me! Help me, please!
They were best friends, the kind people envied. But behind the smiles, one heart was quietly rotting with jealousy. And when envy takes root, death follows. This is not just a story of betrayal. This is the haunting tale of the friend she loved and killed, based on true emotions, inspired by real darkness. Welcome to The Friend I Loved. Jenny was used to being invincible. In a campus filled with girls wearing bone-straight wigs and iPhones hanging like jewelry, she moved like a shadow. No makeup, no flashy clothes, just her books, her dreams, and a small phone with a cracked screen. She was in her second year at the University of Lagos. No parties, no distractions, just classes, and the voice of her mother echoing in her head. Don't forget where we came from. Her mother had struggled, a single woman, abandoned by her husband when Jenny was barely 5. She sold vegetables by the roadside, soaked curry to survive some nights, just to see her daughter go to school. Jenny knew her life wasn't hers alone. It was her mother's sacrifice, walking beside her every day. Then she met Bella. It was on a rainy Monday morning during her second year at the University of Lagos that it all began. The wind slapped against the hostel windows like a warning, but Jenny didn't notice. She had her head down, soaked books in her arms, her sandals heavy with mud from the flooded campus road. Life had always been a battle for food, for peace, for lights to read at night, and now she was battling the rain just to make it to class. Then she saw Bella. Jenny had never met anyone like Bella before. Bella was sitting inside the science block hallway, like the world had bent to give her a seat. Her skin glowed like soft caramel, her hair curled perfectly under the dim lights, and her laughter echoed like music. She wasn't trying to be beautiful, she just was. Jenny stood still. Bella turned and smiled at her. You look like the rain fought you and won. That was the first time Jenny laughed in weeks. From that moment, things moved fast. Classmates today, lunch buddies tomorrow. Bella had a way of drawing people in, but she chose Jenny. Maybe it was Jenny's shy smile. Maybe it was how she never asked for anything. Or maybe Bella saw something she could mold. Soon, Jenny stopped going back to her hostel. Bella's self-contained apartment off campus was warm, always had lights, always had food. Her bed had pillows that felt like clouds. For someone like Jenny who had grown up on tin mattresses and leaking roofs, it felt like heaven. Bella's parents lived in Abuja, so she was mostly alone. She said Jenny brought her peace. You are the sister I never had, Bella whispered one night as they lay side by side, listening to soft music. Jenny didn't say anything. Her chest ached. She hadn't felt this close to anyone in years. At first, she offered to help with cleaning, even cooked sometimes, but Bella would wave her off. You're my friend, not my maid, she said with a smile. That word friend, it warmed Jenny's chest. No one had ever called her that with so much meaning. Weeks turned to months. They did everything together. Morning walks, evening gist, sharing clothes, attending lectures, laughing at inside jokes. Jenny finally felt sane. Bella and Jenny did everything together. They woke up in the same room, brushed side by side, dressed for lectures in front of the same mirror. Sometimes they wore each other's clothes. Most times, Bella gave Jenny better ones, a new dress here, a pair of heels there, even a straight wig Jenny couldn't have dreamt of affording. Jenny had nothing. Bella made sure she lacked nothing. She would buy food, pay for data, even slip cash into Jenny's hands with a wink. Don't argue, she'd say. You're my girl. Sometimes she'd hand her 10,000 naira or 20,000 naira. Send this to your mom, she'd whisper. Let her breathe more. And Jenny's eyes would stink, not from sadness, but something she couldn't name. Something thick, something tight in her throat, something that felt like shame, dressed as gratitude. Bella was beautiful, not ordinary fine, expensive fine. the type that made people turn and ask, "Who is that girl?" Her skin glowed like it had skincare routine of its own. Her laugh was soft and delicate, but her presence was loud. Men noticed her, rich ones, the kind that drove sleek cars, wore designer perfumes, and held her wallets like weapons. They brought her handbags, wigs, laptops, shoes that came in ribbon boxes, vacations to places Jenny had only seen in music videos. And the thing is, Bella wasn't stingy. If she went to shopping, she bought something for Jenny too. If a guy gave her money, she shared it. She once came back from a weekend trip with a rose gold wristwatch and a small bottle of perfume, both for Jenny. "I told him I had a sister," Bella said with a grin. Jenny smiled, but it didn't reach her heart, because deep inside her, something was shifting. She told herself to be grateful. She was, most days, but some nights, when Bella was asleep beside her, Jenny would lie awake staring at the ceiling, her fists clenched beneath the blankets. No man ever came for her. She watched Bella move through life like the rules didn't apply to her. If she wanted something, she got it. If she smiled at a guy, he melted. Jenny, she was background noise, the third wheel, the forgotten shadow trailing behind Bella's glow. Even Michael, Bella's boyfriend, the one who loved her so openly, so fiercely, it was always Bella and Michael, and Jenny just there. They invited her along on dates, took her to lunches, even gave her space when she looked lonely. But the more they tried to include her, the more she felt excluded, invisible, overlooked, unchosen. Jenny would watch Bella and Michael laugh over cocktails while she stirred her drink in silence, smiling politely, pretending she was fine. But inside, her heart was cracking, quietly. She began to feel things she couldn't explain. Anger, resentment, a coldness that wrapped around her ribs like a snake and whispered, "Why not you? What does she have that you don't? You have suffered more. You deserve more." She hated those thoughts. She buried them. She prayed them away. But they kept coming back. Every time Bella showed her a new gift. Every time she came home laughing about another man who wanted her. Every time she handed Jenny cash with that gentle, generous, untouchable smile, Jenny felt something dark rising. A storm gathering in her chest. A scream her mouth would never say out loud. She loved Bella, but she also hated how Bella made her feel. Small, pitied, forgotten. And even though Bella never rubbed anything in her face, even though she shared her words so freely, Jenny couldn't shake the feeling that she was born to lose while Bella was destined to win. And that thought began to rot something inside her. Bella and Michael had gone on vacation. It was meant to be just a short weekend trip, but Jenny knew what it really was, alone time. And for the first time, they didn't take her along. No quick, pack your bag. No last minute call. No invitation. They were gone, and she was left behind. Jenny sat in Bella's apartment, scrolling through her phone. Her screen burned with videos of white sand beaches, swimming pools, candlelight dinners, Bella laughing in Michael's arms, Bella holding designer shopping bags, Bella in a bikini posing with cocktail glasses. Jenny watched it all in silence, her throat dry, her heart heavy. She felt abandoned. No one took her on vacations. No one bought her champagne or called her babe. No one looked at her like she mattered. Yes, Bella helped her. Yes, she gave her money. Yes, she helped her mother. But it wasn't enough anymore. Jenny didn't just want help. She wanted the life, the luxury, the men, the gifts, the attention. She wanted to stop being someone's project and start being her own main character. She wanted to be seen. Jenny was drowning. Every smile she forced was cracking at the corners. Every shared gift from Bella, every kind word, every gesture meant to uplift her, only reminded her that she was always receiving, never owning. Always the one watching, always the one waiting. She didn't want pity anymore. She wanted power. She wanted to walk into a boutique and buy anything she liked. She wanted to send her money 100,000 naira without blinking. She wanted the life Bella had, not the borrowed crumbs from it. And that stark craving led her to the edge. It happened on a quiet afternoon. Jenny had walked into a large supermarket in Surrey. At first, she just wanted to buy a few toiletries. But when she saw the display of luxury perfumes behind the counter, something snapped. She didn't think, she just acted. She slid one bottle into her bag when the attendant wasn't looking. But she didn't get far. The alarm screamed. The security guard swarmed. Within seconds, she was dragged to the front of the store, humiliated, exposed, and shoved to the ground. A crowd formed. People shouted. Some began to beat her. One man reached for a tire. Another brought out matches. Thief, ole! Burn her! Let her confess! Jenny begged. She cried. Blood ran from her lip. Her blouse was torn. Her mind was blank with terror. She thought she was going to die. Then a voice cut through the madness. Calm, commanding, male. Enough! Stop! Two men stepped out of a sleek black car, dressed too clean, too composed for that environment. One wore dark shades. The other held out his hand. Let her go, he said. We'll pay for what she stole. The crowd murmured. Someone protested, but the money was real. Crisp and enough to make the anger dissolve. The men handed the store owner some cash and pulled Jenny from the ground. She didn't resist. She didn't speak. She followed them to their car like a ghost. The drive was long, silent. She didn't ask where they were going. Her body ached. Her shame sat in her throat like acid. When the car stopped, she looked up. A massive compound, tall gates, polished floors, clean air. They led her inside, into a lounge, too perfect for someone like her. Then the taller man spoke. You know what you did? We could have handed you over to the police. The mob would have burnt you alive. But we didn't. Why? Jenny said nothing. Her voice was lost. We need something from you, he continued. And in return, you get your life back. Maybe even something better than you've ever imagined. Her lips trembled. What do you want? He smiled. You'll find out soon. But first, we need your agreement. They dropped a stack of papers on the table. Sign this. It's a contract. You work for us now. That's, or we make one call and hand you over to the police. Jenny's hand shook. No, please. I don't want to go to jail. Please don't take me there, she begged. I'll do anything. Just don't take me there. They handed her a pen. Without reading a single word, she signed. The man leaned forward. His smile chilling. Good. Now you belong to us. That night, they woke her up at 1:23 a.m. Get dressed, one of them said. She followed them back into the car. They drove in silence, through back roads and dark streets. Eventually, they pulled into a narrow unlit path, and then she saw it, a cemetery. Old, overgrown, skulls and bones scattered like trash. The air was cold. Jenny's breath caught in her throat. Why are we here? She asked, heart stomping. The man turned to her. It's time to explain what you have signed up for. He looked her dead in the eye. We need a fresh body for a ritual, and you're going to get one for us. Jenny blinked. Her ears rang. Her body went cold. A body? She stammered. What do you mean? Where am I going to find a body? I can't do that. You signed a contract, the second man reminded her calmly. You don't get to refuse, or else the police. Jenny dropped to her knees, sobbing. Please don't make me do this. I'll do anything else, just not this. They stepped closer. One pulled out a phone, flashed a screen showing her signature on the contract. We are going to pay 5 million naira, the man said. Half now, half after the job is done. Jenny froze. 5 million. That was more than her mother had ever seen in a lifetime. That was a new life. That was freedom. 5 million? She whispered. Yes, the man said. 2.5 million naira now. And the rest, after you bring us what we need. Jenny stood there, frozen. Her tears had dried. And somewhere, deep inside her, something cracked. Jenny stood frozen in that cemetery. Her breath shallow. Her hands trembling. Her heart louder than the wind. A fresh body. 5 million naira. The number echoed in her skull like a chant. She wanted to scream. No, she wanted to run. But she couldn't move. She hadn't agreed. Not yet. But the thought was growing louder. She needed the money. She needed the life. She wanted a better life. She wanted to flex. She wanted to stop feeling like a shadow, scraping for scraps in a world that kept handing the crown to someone else. Just one chance to feel like a big girl. And this one job was easy money. One debt for a new life. By dawn, her decision was made. She returned to her hostel that morning, only to walk into something worse than she expected. Bella was back, just arrived from her vacation, her skin glowing, her smile gone. She was folding clothes into a suitcase. Jenny stood at the door, confused. "You're leaving?" Bella didn't turn. "Yes, I'm moving out." "Why?" Jenny asked, her voice shaking. Bella zipped her bag. "Michael said I should stay with him for a few days while I look for another place." Jenny stepped closer. "Why? What's going on?" Bella finally looked at her, calm, composed, cold. "I can't live with a thief, Jenny. I'm sorry." The words hit like a slap. Jenny blinked. "You believe those people?" "Bella, it was a mistake. You embarrassed me," Bella snapped. "The whole campus is talking. My name is in everyone's mouth because of you. I can't do this anymore." Jenny clenched her jaw. Her chest ached. Her heart felt like it was being stabbed from the inside out. "So you're judging me now?" "I'm protecting my peace," Bella said. "I never said you should leave," Bella added, softer now. "My rent is still running. You can stay here until it expires. I just can't stay with you anymore." She turned to her suitcase. Something cracked. Something ugly. Something irreversible. Jenny's head buzzed. Her ears rang. Her world tilted. She thought Bella was her sister. She thought if anyone would understand, it would be her. But Bella was leaving, just like everyone else. The girl who used to make her feel safe had now reduced her to a burden, a disgrace, a stain. Jenny didn't say a word. She walked past Bella, into the kitchen. Her hands were shaking, but her mind was quiet. Too quiet. She opened the fridge, poured juice into 2 glasses. Her eyes darted to her handbag, where a tiny sachet hid beneath her makeup purse. She hadn't planned to use it on Bella, no. That wasn't the plan. She was going to pick someone else, a stranger, someone random, not her best friend. But Bella's words, they struck deep. "I can't live with a thief." She said it so easily, so cleanly, and just like that, the decision changed. She wanted to make her pay. She had oppressed her for a long time now. It's over. Jenny laughed quietly as she poured the contents of the sachet into one of the glasses. Her voice was a whisper in the kitchen. "No more vacations, baby girl. No more keeping all the men to yourself. You will sleep in the grave now, forever." She stirred the juice slowly, a smile crawling onto her face. She walked back into the room carrying food and drinks. "I bought lunch for both of us," she said sweetly. "Didn't want it to waste." Bella turned. "You bought food?" Jenny nodded. "I bought it for us while coming back home." "So?" Bella hesitated, then sat down. She took the plates. She ate. She drank. She smiled faintly. Then, her smile began to fade. The silence was loud. Too loud. Jenny sat across from her, watching, waiting. Then it began. Bella's hand froze mid-air. Her face tightened. She dropped her fork. Her body began to tremble slightly. She clutched her stomach. "Jenny," she whispered. What did you give me?" Jenny said nothing. She just stood like a statue. Calm, steady, cold. Bella was sweating now. Panic in her eyes. "Jenny, please, something's wrong. My chest, my stomach." She collapsed to the floor, crawling. Help me, please. Jenny knelt beside her and whispered, I'm sorry. Bella gasped, trying to sit up. Her voice cracked with fear. Why? Why are you doing this to me? I treated you like a sister. I gave you everything. Why, Jenny? Jenny tilted her head. Her voice shook, but it wasn't from regret. Sister, she scoffed. You gave me leftovers. You gave me what others gave you. You went on vacations, wore designer wigs, collected rich men like handbags, and gave me scraps. You made me feel like nothing. You acted like a queen while I crawled behind you. Bella was crying now, barely able to move. I loved you. Bella's lips quivered. She was choking. I never meant to. You judged me. Jenny hissed. You all did. And now you will never judge me again. Jenny's eyes were glassy. You love being worshipped, she spat. You love being above me. And now she leaned closer, her breath warm on Bella's ear. You are going to sleep in the grave forever. Bella's body convulsed. Jenny stood back, watching, heart pounding, but unmoved. The girl who used to shine like gold was now gasping for her last breath on the cold, tight floor of her own apartment. And Jenny felt nothing. Bella was barely breathing, her body trembling, her face pale, her voice slipping into nothing. But her words, they still came. Jenny, she whispered, tears lying down her cheeks. Jenny, please, don't let me die. Jenny stood still, heart studying, arms crossed. She didn't respond. Bella reached out with trembling fingers. You're my sister, Jenny. I have always loved you. I never knew this was how you felt. Please, forgive me. Don't do this to me. Her voice broke into a sob. I want to see my mom. Please, Jenny, I don't want to die. Jenny blinked slowly. Something hot sprinkled behind her eyes, but she forced herself not to feel it. She turned and walked away to the kitchen. She opened a drawer. The knife gleamed under the faint lights. Cold, silent, perfect. No more emotions, no more talking, no more guilt. She returned quietly and looked down at Bella's weak, helpless body on the floor. Her lips were still moving, calling for her mother. Mom! Jenny couldn't bear it. With a scream, part rage, part agony, she plunged the knife into Bella's chest. One stab, then another, then another. The blade pierced flesh and silence. Blood soaked the tiles. Bella gasped. Her limbs jerked weakly. Her mouth trembled. Jenny, why? Jenny didn't stop. She couldn't stop. The final words Bella whispered before her body went still were, Mommy! And then there was nothing. The room fell into a silence so loud it rang in Jenny's ears. She dropped the knife. Her hands were red. Her soul was black. She stood over the body for a while, breathing like she had just come out of a storm. Then, cold, robotic, she got to work. She wrapped Bella's body in their floral duvet. Blood soaked through the white cotton. She dragged it, heavy, lifeless, still warm, through the narrow hallway, out the door, down the steps. Outside the hostel gates, in the dark corner where no one would look, a large industrial dustbin sat quietly. It hadn't been there the day before. The men had kept their promise. Jenny lifted the lid. With all the strength her shaking arms could gather, she rolled the bundle inside. The lid closed with a soft clunk. Then she returned to the apartment, mopped the floor, wiped the blood, scrubbed the tiles. She tossed the knife into a black nylon bag, flushed the used tissues, sprayed air freshener until the whole room smelled like citrus dirt. Then she climbed into bed and slept. But peace doesn't last long in this kind of story. The next morning, Just before sunrise, the hostel president returned from a short trip. He had barely dropped his backpack when he noticed something odd. A large, unfamiliar dustbin by the gate. "Who brought this here?" he muttered to himself. Curious, he lifted the lid and froze. There, eyes still open, blood stiff, skin pale, lay Bella. Her blood had stained the sheets. Her mouth was slightly parted. Her fingers curled. A fresh body. The scream that tore from his throat could have woken the dead. Within minutes, chaos exploded. Hostel mates poured out. The police were called. Crime scene tape was wrapped around the hostel. Everyone had something to say. "I heard dragging sounds last night. I thought it was a dream. She hasn't come out of her room since morning. I saw Jenny coming in late last night." The police stormed the hostel. Straight to room 6B. Straight to Jenny. She was arrested on the spot. In the interrogation room, she said nothing. Not a word. Not a tear. When given a phone, she dialed one number. The man on the other end answered. "They know," she whispered. "They found the body. I've been arrested." He was silent for a moment. Then, "Don't worry, you will not be convicted." Jenny sat in the police cell. The walls were peeling. The bulb above her head buzzed and flickered. Mosquitoes danced around her ankles, and somewhere down the corridor, a woman was screaming her innocence into the walls. But Jenny sat quietly, unmoving, unbothered, untouched. She had made the call, and the man on the other end had said the words that melted her fear like butter under the sun. "Don't worry, you will not be convicted." That was all she needed. She leaned back on the wooden bench and closed her eyes, trying to forget the weight of Bella's body, the cold metal of the knife, the taste of blood that still lingered in her throat. Then everything moved fast. By 9 a.m., a sleek black car pulled up outside the station. Two men stepped out, sharp suits, dark glasses, leather briefcases. They weren't lawyers, but somehow the DPO greeted them with respect. An officer came to the cell. "You are being released," he said, unlocking the door. "No charges. Mistaken identity." Jenny stood, trying not to show her relief. She stepped out of prison, not as a victim, not as a survivor, but as a lesson. Outside, one of the men held the car door open. "Get in." No hello, no "are you okay?" Just an order. Jenny got in. The car was silent as they drove. Lagos traffic whirled around them, but the car felt like a tomb. Finally, one of the men spoke, voice flat like cold steel. "You are lucky we cleaned up behind you. You were sloppy." Jenny's heart stomped. "I did what you asked." "No," he interrupted. "You were not being smart. You acted foolishly." Some days later, she had flown out of Nigeria with clean papers, smuggled across borders by the same men who promised her safety. It felt like a dream. She arrived in another African country, given a new name, a new passport, a new life. She was so shocked and surprised how she wasn't being convicted. Indeed, there are a lot of corruptions here, she whispered to herself. She started life afresh, and for a while, she lived it. Bella's family wept so much, especially her mother. Bella always helps her family in any way she can. In fact, you could call her a breadwinner in her family, and she was taken from them too soon. Her mother prayed that Jenny will suffer for what she did. Jenny felt bad, but she was enjoying her life. She got the latest iPhone, designer bags, luxury clothes, wigs that reached her waist, spas, hotels, shopping. She had it all. But money never silences guilt. Because when the night came, so did Bella. It started with dreams. Bella standing in white, tears in her eyes. "Why, Jenny?" she'd whisper. "Why did you kill me? After all I did for you." Jenny would wake up sweating, gasping for air. She'd take pills, see therapists, even went to native doctors. They gave her charms, black soaps, red beads, ashes wrapped in clothes. Nothing worked. Because you can't silence the dead when they died in pain. Soon, it wasn't just dreams. Bella began to appear, bloody, cold, unforgiving. In hotel rooms, behind windows, behind mirrors, always saying the same thing. You will know no peace. Jenny pleaded, screamed, apologized. I'm sorry, Bella. I just wanted to lead the life you had. I didn't want to kill you. It was the money. The money was too much. Please forgive me. But forgiveness never came. Then one sunny afternoon, 2 months after the hunting began, Jenny was driving herself to the spa. The music was loud. The AC was on. Life was good, at least for a second. Then, Bella appeared. In the middle of the road, eyes wide, dress soaked in blood. Jenny screamed, swerved. The car flipped 3 times before crashing into a ditch. She survived, but her legs did not. She spent months in a hospital, screaming in pain, unable to walk, unable to rest. Every night, Bella came back, watching, waiting. She knew that karma was coming for her, but she wanted to enjoy life while it lasted. And now karma had come. She wanted to embrace it, but it was difficult because she was in a severe pain. Eventually, Jenny couldn't take it anymore. She demanded to return home to Nigeria. Now in a wheelchair, broken and pale, she rolled into Bella's family compound. Bella's mother opened the door and froze. The woman that stood before her was not the same girl from 2 years ago. This one was haunted. Jenny couldn't kneel because of the wheelchair. Mama, I'm sorry, she wept. I killed your daughter. Please forgive me. But Bella's mother didn't hug her. She didn't weep. She cursed her. May the ground never accept your tears, she said. Go and surrender yourself to those you have been running from. You buried your best friend in blood. Now bury yourself in truth. Jenny turned herself into the police. No bribery, no protection, no escape. She was convicted for murder and sent to prison. In prison, she wasted away. Her beauty faded. Her skin dried up. Her legs remained useless. Her mind tormented. And in the cold corner of the cell, Bella still visited her every night. Every night. Until one night, Jenny didn't wake up. The campus never forgot her. The girl who killed her own best friend. The girl who was giving love and returned it in blood. The girl who wanted the world and lost her soul instead. Moral lessons. Envy is a silent killer. Gratitude is a choice. And betrayal, once committed, echoes through eternity. Sometimes, the richest gift life can offer isn't wealth. It is the people who stand with us in our brokenness. And when we harm those who helped us rise, we dig our own graves. Let no one envy the path they haven't walked. Let no one trade loyalty for lust. Let no one silence the voice of conscience for temporary pleasure. Because in the end, the soul remembers, the dead remember, and karma never forgets. Thank you all for watching this story till the end. If this story gripped you, like, share, drop your thoughts in the comment section. I'm reading all of them. And hey, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss what's coming next. To my returning viewers and new followers, I see you. I appreciate you. This one was deep, and the next even deeper. And if you are new here, welcome to the family. Stay locked in. More unforgettable stories coming. Bye.